We welcome you live from the Twin Rinks Ice Pavilion in Buffalo Grove, Illinois, as we have Game 2 of the internal STV Cup between St. Viator and Stevenson here in Buffalo Grove, Illinois. Down on the Stevenson bench, who we will hear from in a moment, is Ian King. But for now, Max Anderson to my left, I'm Luke Jordan up here. Max, this has been quite a fun rivalry to follow in the last couple years.
It really has. It started with that state championship game at the Edge Ice Arena just a couple of seasons ago, and then an epic Blackhawks rivalry series game, I think that was 2 years ago now, and it's really blossomed into this rivalry, and they've developed this STV Cup. Of course, St. Viator, Stevenson, the combo. Stevenson, those state championship winners. St. Viator, probably the better play over the last couple of seasons. They look to continue that today.
And Stevenson's looking to even up the season series. St. Viator took the first one, but down with head coach Dan Wood is Ian King talking about the game plan for game number 2. Ian, take it away.
Thank you, guys. Coach Wood, this matchup against St. Viator has become sort of a newfound rivalry where both teams come out playing with elevated aggressiveness on both sides. What does this rivalry really mean to you?
Well, it's always going to be a tough game whenever you come with these guys. They are one of the hardest teams to play against year in, year out. You know you got to come in, you're going to have a battle every single night. So for us, it's always a big rivalry that you know you got to come ready to play. And then you got everything else that goes on there when we played them in state, things that kind of been building for a while. So they got a great program there, but you always know that they're going to be a tough play. So it always brings out the best in us.
Through 7 straight SHL matchups, Stevenson has been unable to find a victory against St. Viator. What does your team need to do tonight to be able to put that streak to an end?
Number one thing is you got to slow down their forecheck. They're, again, one of the hardest forechecking teams, so play good defense, break the puck out clean. If you're able to get the puck out of our zone and play more in their zone, that gives us a good deal. And capitalize on special teams. Last time we played them, we didn't get a lot of power plays, so trying to get a lot more power plays, score with the extra man.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Ian. And, something we look at, Max, is special teams, especially in the SHL. You talked about how Stevenson's and Coach Dan talking about how they need to fix this penalty kill unit. What's got to stick out for them to do such?
Yeah, it's been a problem. We'll get into it as the game goes along, but 77% on the penalty kill is not very good. That's just, to put it bluntly, that's 10th in the SHL, and if they take penalties, this St. Viator team has a lot of scoring options and can make them pay. So it's going to be key, like Coach Dan Wood just talked about, for them to stay out of the box, play 5-on-5, and play their game that way. If this game turns into a special teams fest, it's going to heavily favor St. Viator.
Well, Stevenson was a team last year known for not having a lot of veteran experience. Now they have a lot of second-year varsity players under their belt, already doubling their win total in the SHL from last year. You look at last year's record where they were 10th out of 11 teams with a 3-24-3 record. They have already much improved, Max, with now a record of 6-9-1.
Yeah, it's been much better. It was a really tough season for the Patriots last year. Obviously coming off the state championship 3 years ago. It was a senior-led team 2 years ago, with a bunch of 4-year varsity starters for Stevenson that graduated. And it was just a really young team last season that never quite found their footing, missed the SHL playoffs. They're right on that bubble line now, the SHL playoffs. Of course, 8 of the top 11 will make the league playoffs here in the Scholastic Hockey League. They're in prime position to make that run.
Yeah, and you're thinking, if there's a time to beat St. Viator, it's now. So teams get in their huddles. Stevenson in their darker green with metallic gold shoulders. St. Viator in white today with navy helmets. And now we'll take a look at tonight's starting goaltenders. On the left side, it is Brock Harrer wearing an A for the Lions this year. 3-year varsity player, now a senior, posting a .926 save percentage, stopped 20 out of 21 just about 10 days ago against Stevenson when these two teams last met in a 4-1 win for St. Viator. Looking over at the other side, it's the junior Austin Morris, came from the Chicago Bulldogs last year, stopped 26 out of 30 versus St. Viator last time. He comes into this one with an .894 save percentage, 4-6 record.
And Luke, actually a clarification here. It's not going to be Brock Harrer starting in net tonight. It's actually going to be legendary musician and goaltender John Mayer in net for St. Viator. So Big 33 will get the start here. They really do feel like they've got a 1A and 1B option in net, does Coach Tim Benz. And so we'll get the look at John Mayer tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. John Mayer, 3-0-0 record in his 5th appearance here now. .86 goals allowed average, and a .974 save percentage. He stops 97.4% of the shots he faces. That is a unheard of number.
112 saves on 115 shots. That is not just an early season number. That's 3 really solid games he's put together in SHL play.
And we are ready to go in Game 2 of the STV Cup here at Twin Rinks Ice Pavilion. Could be a quick 2-on-1 already for Stevenson. Dylan Nelser trying to slide it across. He'll throw it back after a failed attempt on the first try. Puck now pinned against the far side half marks. Tommy Speck trying to flip it ahead, but it's kept in by Rishi Gupta. Throws it into the slot now. Backhand try is steered aside by John Mayer. They'll try it again, but that shot is blocked by Jiang Hong. Good push early for the Patriots.
Hey, Brian Wojdelko, a good look in the slot between Wojdelko and Jimmy Brown, the 2 primary scoring threats for the Stevenson side. Part of that team last year that struggled and have been a lot stronger to start this season.
Here's Jimmy Brown looking for Noster right in front of Mayer. And you're sure right, Max. You're talking about Jimmy Brown, a senior, as well as Wojdelko, who is in his last year. Wojdelko on a 3-game point streak, but how about Jimmy Brown, a 7-game point streak with 9 points in that span?
Yeah, we saw him last season. He was one of the shining spots on an otherwise tough season for Stevenson, and he's continued that pace here this season.
Here comes senior Cameron Hemphill down the left side of the ice. Or sorry, that's Jimmy Brown in the slot. His shot deflected out of play off the stick of Adam Popio.
The 2 quick looks off the draw to start the game. It was Wojdelko with one of them, but really in both of those cases, it was Wojdelko in the middle of it. He got the play started and then took a shot in the slot. It was a good save and a good early touch by John Mayer.
A rematch of the 2022 state championship upon us as that puck nearly found its way by Mayer, able to get it with the upper part of his body.
Upper part of his body. That was off the top of the noggin there for John Mayer. Almost like a header. He knocked it into the netting there.
That's why we got 2 pairs of eyes up here.
And that great goal cam down there brought to us by New Trier Hockey Club.
Tommy Speck sends it down the length of the ice. We'll have another whistle here with 15:21 to play.
So not a whole lot of rhythm to start here. A bunch of whistles. Also, want to always make sure we take good care of our sponsors here. Big thank you to them and all their great support of the SHL. And I didn't know, part of the marquee partnership here with the SHL and Chicago Wolves is all those sponsors getting some highlight on broadcast cable TV. We're allowed to use those sponsors in those games. So, folks, if you think you're just advertising for streaming to thousands of people, that's not the case. You're also getting your ads and your name on cable TV now.
And a game of high school hockey that seems to only be growing further. Puck now below the Stevenson goal line. 2-on-2 battle right below goaltender Austin Morris. Hemphill's got some space now. Going to start to dash down the left side, but coughed it up, and now Kolpins is coming the other way, trying to sweep it ahead, and he eventually finds Rice, who has it poked away. Kanik around the wall. Patriots have some real estate to get things moving. Hemphill. The Stevenson team, number 9 in the SHL. 6-9-1 record, while St. Viator, number 4 at 10-4-1.
Stevenson been right there in many games. They've not been blown out like they were a lot last season. They've been close games. They even have one of the bigger wins in the entire league so far this season.
Here's Hogan from the point, never made its way there. Now spin around shot from Schleep, blocked as well.
Morris fortunate there as he was a little bit overcommitted to his left. Shot on goal there might have been the first of the game.
Hogan trying to shovel it across. And you know, Max, we talk about how high of a ceiling these two teams have. These are 2 of the 4 teams to hand number 1 New Trier a loss on the SHL season. It was 3 headed into today, but the earliest game of the Saturday slate, Carmel beats New Trier 5-1. How about that, Max?
An impressive total, but people that follow this league closely know that's, while it's definitely an upset, it's not that big of an upset. Carmel has a lot of talent. They love to fly up and down the ice. They've got good team speed. They like to take advantage of teams' mistakes. Didn't get a chance to see how that game materialized to a 5-1 game, but initially certainly surprising, but it just goes to show you any given day here in the SHL.
Yep, Stevenson beating New Trier 5-2, St. Viator 4-1 as Hong sends it in now on Morris, who will kick it aside. Trickling puck at the blue line, found by Jiang Hong, who rifles it wide. Jack Flater up the wall. Aaron Mendelson couldn't hang on to it. He's now got a chance inside the center circle.
His brother James Mendelson, a star on this Stevenson team, part of that state 2022. And his brother, playing for Northwestern's club team, played down at All-State Arena today as part of that Chicago Wolves showcase, partnership with us here at G&M Media and Marquee Sports Network.
Quite a high-scoring fair. Chernikov will cut back below the net. Lions forecheck all over him before he's able to evade it. Teams seem to just still be feeling each other out here.
What's up?
Brown. Agile skater. Now taking some pressure from Pepe LeBoy. Finds Hemphill, but Adam Popiel in the way. Under 8 minutes to go as Ryan Loftus makes his way up the ice. Looking for Prizwara. That was interrupted, and the other way comes Zach Greenberg. Greenberg, the senior, looking across for Mendelson. Can't happen. Battle of 98s now below the goal line. Hogan got up the wall, but it's taken back. Pashenko, backhand try, still loose in front. Greenberg got his backhand just wide. Pashenko sent back down the wall. It's beyond the stick of Greenberg. He's got it now. 6:24 left here in the first period. Shots on 6:24 left here in the first period. Shots on goal, even at 3 between the Patriots and Lions. St. Viator with the STV Cup in between the benches. An abbreviated looking Stanley Cup-like trophy. Could put things away here with a win. If not, there will be a Game 3 come December 14th. That game will be played either way, but it's for the keepsake of the series. Noster now. Put in a St. Viator sandwich. It's kicked up the wall. Smoller from the point, and Mayer tracks it down.
A lot of traffic in front there for John Mayer. Battle in front of him, trying to jockey for position. Going to get a good look at it here from the goal cam. You can see in his way the entire way was Dylan Noster, but Mayer sees it the entire time, keeps it out.
This senior goaltending crew for St. Viator, a big part of success so far on the year. John Colpins trying to get something going for the St. Viator offense. Lee, who winds up at the point, but he's way wide. Fredden turns back. Tomaszewski has it poked away. Colpins now, toe drag, can't hang on. It is held in by Waltuck and sent back down to Brandon Smoller with some time. He'll send it up ice for it to be taken back by St. Viator. Hogan up ahead. In on Morris, who will leave it for Smoller. Dominic D'Alessandro sends in deep. Hemphill trying to advance it ahead. Instead, it's Giovanni DePinto, the junior, up ahead for the Lions. His shot was blocked off the shin pads of Gigante. Under 4.5 to play in the first period. Speck, some time and space at the point. Shot block, follow-up to Pinto on his backhand, and that just slithers by the net, thrown back to the slot. A couple of nice chances there for St. Viator, but it's Cameron Hemphill who's able to clear the zone. Look at this bounce. Could be right to the stick of Colton Newhouse, who had a sharp angle and will cut back.
Just caught up to it, too. Would have been icing if it went another foot or two further in high school hockey. Doesn't matter if the Lion would have beaten him down the ice. That would have been icing.
DePinto, vertical for Aiden O'Neill. O'Neill picking up steam through the neutral zone. Looking backside for Loftus, who slides it to the slot to have it intercepted. Jamie Brown the other way. Bobbled it in the slot. It's Yurkov now, fended off by Ryan Loftus. Loftus gave it right back to Yurkov. And Loftus will take it right back. Speck off the glass to the back line of the Patriots as Chernikov sends it across. Yurkov stationary. Makes Brown slip with that pass. Back and forth we go again. Here's Yurkov. Yurkov trying to shake off Przywara. Puck slips by Pashenko. Jason Pashenko. Low ceiling here at Twin Rinks, but that puck does not graze it. Pashenko took some body contact there, but the Pats remain in possession. Speck will ring it around. Sibik Troth is first there for St. Viator, trying to feed it ahead for Przywara. Hong can't hold the zone. Could be a chance here. Here comes Aaron Mendelson down the left side. His shot is patted away by Mayer. No issues there. Greenberg takes some contact from Lee. Now Ethan Lee will power ahead.
One of those examples right there where you saw what Lee was trying to do from the back end and play off the boards. And a good look at that chance up the ice from Mendelson. And even though Sibitrov was right there, the moment that puck goes across that goal line, it's going to be icing with 1:42 left here.
.142 left to play in the first period. Face off to the right of Mayer. It's Kanik and D'Alecandro. D'Alecandro wins the draw. The shot there from the point was handled well by John Mayer, as he has done well so far in this one. And now Morris will hang on for another whistle. 87 seconds to go in period number one.
It's been mostly St. Viator here in the last, we'll call it 10 minutes. Stevenson, a couple of opportune counters, but the St. Viator team came into this season returning 12 skaters from last season, including their goaltender, who's got a case to be the best in the state. It is an experienced team. They have high expectations.
Absolutely. A year of great goaltenders, and Hare is up there in that conversation, if not number one.
I mean, prior to that North-South game, you had Michael Raderman, who had a sub .75 goals allowed average, and it wasn't through just a couple of games. It was through 13 games. Got guys like Hare, Preston at GBS, the freshman.
D'Alecandro looking up top, but the glove of John Mayer able to snuff that one out.
Snatch that right wrist from Mayer. 46 to go here in the period. Calm, cool, and collected. Is 33 in white.
Not too often we see righty goalies. That is an advantage there for John Mayer on an angle like that.
One of those nights where I wish Wes Anderson was on the broadcast. No disrespect to Luke and Ian, but I had a question I almost started asking, but no Wes tonight.
Sam Winkleman could not keep it below the blue. Calm start so far, and this is a Stevenson offense that has struggled of late. 10 goals in their last 5 games, 2 on average. St. Viator, meanwhile, firing on all cylinders lately, winning 6 of their last 7, that only loss coming to the York Dukes.
The longer this game stays scoreless and stays 5-on-5, the better it plays for Stevenson. They're playing a disciplined game so far. haven't been caught in any odd man rushes. They've had a few themselves, but defensively haven't gotten caught.
Sean Yurkov. And that pass intended for Winkleman interrupted by Ryan Loftus. Loftus surveys the ice, puts a behind the back pass that was intercepted by the Patriots, sent ahead. Could be one last chance here for what appears to be Brian Wojdelko, but nothing comes out of it. And as the clock expires on period number 1, we are where we started in a game that has featured no scoring just yet.
A little bit of a shot and possession edge to St. Viator, but Stevenson right there. They've had some high-quality chances as well, but the discipline of Stevenson showing through the first 17 minutes.
Shots on goal in the first period. Stevenson just with one more, a 7-6 edge for now. And you know, Max, it really didn't feel that way. Like you mentioned, it was mostly St. Viator hockey in that first period, but Stevenson, just a lot of shots from the point and such.
I was just going to say, I thought Stevenson did a great job of keeping the Lions out of the middle of the ice, that area between the dots from the goal line to about 20 feet in front of the blue line is the goal area. Defensively, if you can keep high-powered, good-scoring teams out of that area, you certainly can keep yourself in the game and at some point take a lead. So long as they continue to protect that diamond area, they're going to be just fine in this game.
4 periods on the day completed for this SHL, or Jana Media crew, should I say. Credits to Matt Freeman, camera operator. Jimmy the Wiz Olsen, our producer. Max, who had play-by-play for the still with us here for a Saturday night rivalry matchup.
It was fun. It was a great experience. Anytime you get a chance to broadcast down at Allstate Arena, you feel like you're in the big leagues, AHL
Absolutely.
Arena. And then, of course, the game being on Marquee Network. Heard already great feedback from a lot of people. The production work that Jimmy the Wiz puts in is, you'd be surprised to know that it wasn't Marquee Network switching all the dials.
So here we go. We flip sides, period of the long change, as we are still seeking somebody to break open the scoring. One of the favorites to do so with the puck right now. It's Jimmy Brown for Stevenson. Brown finds Yurkov, who fires it towards the net. Another save credited to Mayer. He's got 8 now. Shots on goal were a struggle last time against the Lions for Stevenson, as Yurkov fires one that is redirected out of play off the blocker of Mayer. But 10 shots on goal in the first period against St. Viator last game, but then only 11 total through the remaining 2 periods in that one.
Not sure they said it in a couple of different times. I feel like Stevenson had the chance to just pepper a shot on goal. It doesn't always have to be perfect or beautiful or the perfect angle through. Get a few of that there is just getting shot on goal, getting Mayer into this second period of action.
Face off one cleanly by the Patriots. It's Smoller now through a heavy trafficked lane. Comes out to center ice, counter business. It's Speck. Interrupted by Smoller. Lofted ahead to center ice as Adam Popiel. Ooh. Looks like he nailed the gear of Asher Ali on the Stevenson bench. Clearly not purposefully. And we'll head back into the St. Viator defensive zone, this time to the right of Mayer. Late line change coming from Stevenson. It's going to be Dominic D'Alessandro that takes the draw for them. Stevenson been handling faceoffs well so far. That's another win credited to them. Pepe LeBoy trying to pick up speed. Instead, we'll play it ahead. Civic Troth. Wara just given right to Stevenson as Smoller had it deflected ahead by Tomaszewski. Smoller now from the hash marks, nearly redirected in, just a little bit high. D'Alessandro's shot ended up at the point. Now it's Smoller high and above. Another try, save Mayer. The net is just about 45 degrees off its moorings now. Great couple of chances there for Stevenson.
Really good action in front of the net. You could see there the screen of Tomaszewski, and that puck came hard off the glass. There's a Patriot in that far face-off dot that tried to one-time it. I think it missed the mark, and then Mayer kicked the goal.
During that first period intermission, guys, Coach Dan Wood for the Patriots was talking about how the Patriots need to come out and be more aggressive, and we've seen them control the time of possession. We've seen them control the Viator offensive zone through this first beginning of the second period, and we got to see if they continue that game up.
I'm not surprised that was the message, because totally agree they've been.
We got to see if they continue that game up.
I'm not surprised that was the message, because totally agree they've been much jumpier here through the first 2 minutes of action. A couple of good shots, good action in front of the net, like we talked about on that last rush up.
Ian King.
Sent a reel. We talked, gave him an opportunity a couple of weeks ago. He's back for his second game with the crew. Happy to have him.
Tell you what, he came much better dressed than my first time, Smacks.
Yeah, you were talking about that pregame. I'd forgotten about that. Gave you a second chance, and I think we're all glad you did.
For those that have no context, I showed up to my first broadcast in my Chiefs hockey jacket.
I think you just finished a game, hadn't you? Wasn't that part of the
might
context
have.
there?
I think it was, yeah. I mean, I still ran home and showered anyway. I could have definitely changed.
Well, if you would
my
have showed up to a broadcast with hockey stink on, I don't know if I would have had you back, to be honest with you.
Fair enough.
As everybody I'm sure watching knows, hockey stink is a different level of stink.
Whether you're a fan or a player, you've experienced it because it travels in waves.
Oh, it sure does. I was a football and baseball player in high school, but nothing quite competes with that hockey smell, that's for sure.
Here's Aiden O'Neill. Turn it over to Gupta. Speck trying to reverse things now. Gupta recollects for Stevenson. Flips it in. Foot race for the puck here. No icing as was Delco. For the puck here. No icing as was Delco. Able to obtain it. Throws it towards the net. Able to obtain it. Throws it towards the net. And it bounces right back to St. Viator. Loftus. Now it's Newhouse, but only for a moment. Rishi Gupta. Over for Brian Wojdelko. Cuts it back, looking for Gigante. Gupta now, spin around shot. Another one of those low ones from Stevenson, and Mayer's been all over it with his pads so far tonight.
Yeah, they've been challenging Mayer low for the most part. We've seen a lot of pucks low on the ice. We've seen some deflections in front as well, trying to get some traffic in front of Mayer. That's something we talked about back through the first 3.5 minutes here. The second period, we've certainly seen that.
We've certainly seen Patriots out shooting the Lions here in the second, 6-1 so far. That could change here. Taking a spill is James Rice. We will get no call. No call. Still a game with nothing on the score sheet so far, whether it's penalties or goals. Here's Colpin's in front trying to change that. And it looks like he might have just barely missed.
Yeah, it looked like the ref started to go to his whistle. Thought maybe that puck got by, but clearly it didn't. Again, just 2 officials on the ice tonight, neither with an orange band on. So they're certainly working a little bit more difficult shift here tonight at Twin Rings.
Winkleman had his pass intercepted by Sibigtroth. Coughed it back up to Greenberg. 4 Patriots will change as the Lions reset in their own zone. Brzwara had that puck slip by him, and that's enough for icing. Big thank you to our sponsors who help make this broadcast possible.
We're keeping an eye out, too, for that Wintrust save of the game. They had a couple of decent saves so far, some that might be in the conversation. Of course, yet to see an RSM power play or a Hanna Vanderplug penalty kill. The Hanna Vanderplug, the latest sponsor here on the SHL network. Very big thank you to them. They're good. To Dylan Ward, the play-by-play man over there, along with, of course, our friend Gerard Boris running all the technicals the last hour or two.
Enough to another Illinois team in York.
That's right.
5 minutes into the second period. We're still scoreless so far. And you know, Max, part of the reason the Lions don't have many shots on goal is because they're hitting bodies.
Yeah, that was the key to Stevenson's success when they won that state championship back in 2022. They blocked more shots than any high school hockey team I think I'd ever seen. Just not allowing their goaltender to be exposed. And in that state championship games against these Lions, that was the key. They must have blocked close to 20 shots in that game. Clearly part of the recipe here tonight as well.
Gigante zips it ahead for Hemphill. High slot shot. Trickles out of the glove of Mayer. Sent back down and around. Popiel able to evade Brown, now pressured by Yurkov. Pass vertical for Sibiktroff, trying to get by Winkleman. He'll get some support.
Snow really starting to build up in front of those benches. You saw it on that last attempt by Sibiktroff.
Jimmy Brown, shaking and baking, turns back now, gives up to Gigante. His shot took a high redirection, but is still tracked down.
Getting the lesser of the two in terms of starts between him and three-year varsity starter Brock Hare. But they have a good one in terms of 1B. A good problem to have in net for the St. Viator Lions.
Here's Noster with the shot right in front. Off a shot that never made its way there initially, but Stevenson numbers in front of the crease, just can't finish. A nice save there by Mayer once again.
Sibiktroff down early there, getting big and making sure nothing gets in underneath.
That is Stevenson's 9th shot here, not even halfway through the second period. Winkleman able to hold at the point. Gupta as well. Now Colton Newhouse starting to accelerate in his own zone. Cuts it out to the near side. And he dumped it in just a bit before crossing the red line, sending the Lions back to their D zone.
Something to monitor down here, guys. Number 19, Popiel for the Lions, came out after that last offensive shift and is complaining to Coach Benz about some pain in his index finger on his left hand. Something to monitor, as he is one of the more outgoing offensive players for the Lions.
Yeah, good to know, Ian. Junior that came from the Chicago Blues Central States Club. Under a little bit of pain right now. Gigante up ahead. Delco in deep on Mayer, who was prepared. Here's Noster with a shot. That's eaten alive by Jeong Ha. Delco turns it back the other way. Sharp angle shot into the logo of John Mayer with 9:38 to go left here in the second.
This has been a slow-paced, methodical, physical game. Both these teams, once you get nearly half the game in and no one scored, not looking to make the first mistake that opens the scoring.
Greenberg up ahead for Chernikov. Had that turned over, it'll come back to him and trickle by him. Takes some hard contact below the wall. The Lions come up with it. Trying to test Morris for the first time in a while. He was ready. Puck thrown back in front. Stevenson's all over it. Kolpin's now trying to advance it. It's eventually picked up by Finn Hogan. Down the wall for Kolpins. Pressured by Chernikov. And Stevenson will be able to break it out. Greenberg. Backhand in front, redirected Mendelson, and a big save from Mayer.
That was a big second save, too. First one was good, and then to be on his toes, get right back in position, make the second save to keep us scoreless.
Shoveling it ahead, James Rice. Morris will come out of his crease. Play to the far side for Stevenson. That's D'Alessandro. Just trying to put it on Mayer from a distance. That's no buildup really there now, Max, in front of that St. Viator bench as they send it in on Morris.
Yeah, these two teams skating hard. We'll get a nice cut after this period, but until then, you got to be really firm with your exits. When you're dumping the puck in, you got to make sure you do it with force. You don't do it casually, so the puck doesn't get stuck where you don't want it to be.
The mitt of Morris. That's save number 10 for the junior.
So that first save and then the stuff attempt, he kicks that left pad out. Make sure it stays well wide. Good athleticism from John Mayer in net.
.7:47 left in the second period. We have passed the halfway mark. Here's a redirection in front. It was off the stick of Prizwara, and just getting it with his mere toe was Morris. It's LeBoy.
Inches away from the first goal of the game there, Luke. It was just the outstretched leg of Morris. He was an inch or two shorter. It'd probably be a 1-0 lead now for St. Viator.
Speck picking up pace. He'll slow down now, slide it to the slot, and it's off the foot of Prizwara, held in by Popiel. Throws it towards the net, trickling puck in front. Picked up by Stevenson, recovered by LeBoy in the corner. Prizwara getting hounded. LeBoy trying to spin off Brown. Popiel another hold. Takes a bounce to the stick of Jimmy Brown. Brown now takes some heavy contact from Popiel. Puck pops loose, and it's Prizwara who sends it up the wall for Connor Sibigtroff. That puck slowly makes its way down from the ceiling.
It varies throughout the SHL. You got places like Glenview and Fifth Third Ice Arena, even Centennial that have a decently high ceiling, and then places like here in Northbrook. Think of Winnetka Ice Arena. All with pretty low ceilings, so game in, game out basis, like outfielders in baseball that have to check the wind every time out. High school hockey, you got to check the ceiling height.
Absolutely, especially depending on your play style. If you're a team that likes to loft it ahead, got to watch for how high you can do it in a place like this.
Oh, a high hit there from Hong. Thought we could have seen a penalty there, no call.
Thought so as well, Max, but we will play on. It's Giovanni DePinto. Schleep forces the lines out of the zone. The blue line is Wojdelko. Finds a man nearby, Dylan Noster. O'Neal has some time. Now from the far side. Wojdelko up to Smoller, redirected shot that finds that wonderful ceiling once again.
Still searching for the first goal of the game. Not a whole lot of high-scoring chances, high-quality scoring chances, I should say, for either side. Best probably for Viator, at least in the last half hour or so, was the one down to our left just a couple minutes ago on the redirect. That Morris got just enough with his left pad to keep out.
30 total shots in this one, 19 coming from Stevenson. They've got it now in the O-zone. Kept in, sent around, but Hemphill can't chase it, and now it's Ethan Lee. Ryan Loftus, who is tied 5th in the NHL, or in the SHL, should I say.
That would be a story.
That would be quite a story, as he'll send it in on Morris. But Ryan Loftus, what a season he's having. 17 points through 15 games, tied for 5th in the Scholastic Hockey League in points.
Now Loftus, part of that experienced veteran core, O'Neal, Jimmy Rice, Pepe LeBoy. Mentioned the 12 returners. That's what gives this Viator team a sense that they can compete not just for an SHL championship, but potentially a state championship as well.
Loftus, a 3-game goal streak with 5 points in that span. Here's Colton Newhouse. Around for O'Neill. Aiden O'Neill, patient. The Sponges of Stevenson continue to soak shots on this Saturday night.
Just a ton of traffic in front. Another blocked shot for Stevenson. I'd venture to guess how many shots on goal does St. Viator have? 13. I'd venture to guess Stevenson just about that many blocked shots as well.
Here's Isaiah Barbie with a shot. Rebound pops out, and the follow-up is denied by Morris as he goes down.
He took a shot, too. He gave up a juicy rebound, and the crash of the net, he took a shot to the head. Thought we might see a first penalty of the game, but again, we stay 5-on-5.
Still seems to be shaking that head a little bit. Evan Fredden. Another glove save on behalf of John Mayer.
Looks like we'll take another look at that play. You can see the shot, big rebound given up. It was a hard charge, and then see the hit. Really surprised we didn't see a penalty on that one. Not much of a shove at all. I mean, his momentum was going towards goal. That certainly doesn't give you the right to run over the goaltender.
Took the words out of my mouth, Max. Momentum, just trying to prevent himself from hitting Morris as hard, but in the process, he basically shoves him over.
Yeah, I mean, if you're pushed into him, that's one thing. It really wasn't. You got to be able to control your speed, especially around the goaltender who has that extra level of protection normally.
Jason Pashenko from top of the circle. Pad save Mayer. Sent back around for Isaiah Barbie to take over. Barbie gave it away. Mendelson now. Aaron Mendelson below the goal line. Looking for Pashenko, but that pass interrupted by Barbie. And the Patriots will be sent back to the neutral zone. 3:15 to play in period number 2. Mendelson will just stick it in deep. A few Stevenson changes as well as St. Viator. Barbie's got some space and rifles it into the Stevenson bench.
Look out.
Seems everything's okay. Ian, you doing well down there?
Yes, I am. A lot of obscenities over here from the Viator bench, but that's what you expect from a team who averages 30 shots on goal per game, and it is still 0-0 about to head into the third.
Couldn't help but notice you having the protection of the netting over there, too. You're smart in that regard.
Gotta stay safe over here.
What do they always say when you go to a Hawks game? Look out for flying pucks.
I've actually never been.
Oh,
Really?
We'll have to fix that. J&M Media, we usually get some tickets that end up coming our way. We'll work on that for you.
Sibitroff slipped over the blue line, causing an offsides for St. Viator. Still, St. Viator won 4-1 10 days ago at this exact pavilion. They'll play next week at the Nicholas Sportsplex, formerly known as the Mount Prospect Ice Arena. Nice lead pass ahead for Tomaszewski, trying to backhand it in front, intended for D'Alessandro. Instead, here comes the speedy Sibitroff. He goes down. Will we have our first penalty of the game? We will not, and it's an odd man rush the other way. Dylan Tomaszewski down the far side. He slips, and they'll get a call there. And Stevenson is going to be headed to the first RSM power play we've seen today.
Yeah, it just gets taken down on the trip. Of course, RSM, our great sponsor, powers the power play. The power of being understood with RSM. And of course, on the other side, when you need defense, Hannah Vanderplug Law brings you the penalty kill. Big thank you to them, the new sponsors here in the SHL.
8 power play goals on the year for the 8th ranked power play unit in the SHL at a percent of 15.7 for the Patriots. Jimmy Brown spins it back, Smoller. Cross now, Yurkov. Back for Brandon Smoller. Sean Yurkov Far side circle had his pass snuffed out by St. Viator.
Morris thought if he could finish that.
Not only companies able to become sponsors, but teams as well. We thank everybody.
Yeah, these hockey clubs that step up, of course, members here in the SHL, and go the extra mile to give us what we need to bring you a game every single week. Some of the new equipment as well.
So just under a minute and a half on the Stevenson power play. Trying to set things up for the second time. Here's Sean Yurkoff. Known for that Michigan. Nearly went for it.
You saw him setting up for it.
As I was about to say it, he went below the net, but Brown recovers. Brown slides across. Nobody there. Just under a minute left to go. Stevenson power play, first chance. Brown a shot. Into the glove of Mayer. The story of John Mayer's life so far.
It's been a efficient kill so far for St. Viator. Around 15% power play. 20% is kind of the magic number in high school hockey. Anything there or above? No notes, Luke, no notes.
Here comes Colton Newhouse. And on Morris.
Morris.
With some great speed, defended well, breaks on his backhand, up top, winding up and smaller in a shot, never made it there. 6 seconds left on the power play. It's Yurkoff with one last hurrah. Into the slot, slides across, one-timer Brown, big save, still loose in front. Anybody's puck. It is Brown with a miscommunication now. Wojdelko's shot is bodied away by James Rice. 9.1 seconds left to go in the second period. And I tell you what, Stevenson does not end up scoring on this power play, but how about those chances at the end, Max?
Yeah, John Mayer just not very comfortable